one. It ends the 12/31, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's due by the January 26th, I think, the 25th or 26th. So yeah, I looked at that just to see if it would come up on that or not, but, yeah, that's when it's due, so sooner the better. And there's your paperback.
So Shelley, can this be passed around the room?
Yeah, it can be
Yes.
passed to
You wanna
everybody.
sign it before we do that, cause they'll have to sign on the back, cause there's not enough spaces, but they can sign on the back if they'd like.
Yeah, see.
And they can read it and see what they think.
Did you print your name or just write it the first column?
I wrote it the first column, but it's okay. I'll write it there. If he doesn't know my name, then he's got a problem.
You know?
Yes, I do. I did graduate. I graduated in 8th grade with you. Yes, he
I've
does.
already signed it.
Does know me.
You can take me to the first one.
He also had a kid in Carol's class too. What? Yes, I did. And then, did you find a class yet, Tracy? They have spring classes.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping to do is,
Do you want this? It was from Joe Cribs.
sure.
Is that the one you?
I usually forward all of them to him.
Okay, I was gonna say here's.
Okay,
Yeah, you already.
so it's
got it.
one of the emails that I got? Okay.
Yes, spring 2026 classes is January 20th to 5/14/26.
Okay,
And
yeah.
it tells you all that. Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, so nothing on this deep.
There is I found a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit sign in the lean-to of the old firehouse. I didn't put it in, haven't got to it, don't know if I will, but there's a 20-mile-an-hour sign there, so at some point that sign can be put out there on the east end of town.
In the lean-to where the dump truck's at?
No, in about the old firehouse.
The old
it's
firehouse?
Yeah.
Okay, we got another letter from the Attorney General. And about the letter we had written up by the county attorney. And this letter, Luke has said that we did this letter, we didn't do it in an open meeting. He said that we got together and did it. In that respect, that was true, because the attorney, when we had him type up this letter, I requested that he send me a copy of that for the council's review before he sent it. Well, he neglected to do that, and he went ahead and sent the letter. And I'll just read this to you. This is to Brandon Thomas. Reason, formal request for return of city property and request for attendance at the November 3rd, 2025 Powhattan City Council meeting, 7 p.m. Meeting is held at a room in the historic Powhattan Bank Building. To the officer members of the Powhattan Fire and Rescue Association, on December 8th, the Powhattan City Council adopted Resolution 2023 R2, which reported to transfer all real property, buildings, and equipment to the Powhattan Fire Department to the Powhattan Fire and Rescue Association. The Powhattan City Council voted to rescinded Resolution 2023 R2 by a vote of 4 to 1 at the October 20th meeting. Additionally, it was published in the paper. Upon review, the city has determined that resolution illegally related agreements or unauthorized or contrary to the state Kansas law, specifically KSA 12-1739 requires municipal property transfers to be carried out through statutory procedures, including authorization by ordinance and adherence to lawful sale or lease agreements. KSA 12-101 prohibits municipalities from transferring public assets except as authorized by state law. KSA 75-4304 prohibits conflict of interest by local officials in matters involving municipal property or contracts. At the time of this transfer, the mayor was also the fire chief, and 3 council members were serving on the fire department. Because Resolution 2023-R2 did not comply with these statutes, any transfer of city-owned property to Powhattan Fire and Rescue Association is voided and without legal effect. According to the city of Powhattan, hereby requests an immediate return to surrender of all property, equipment, vehicles, buildings, records, and financial accounts belonging to the city of Powhattan and the fire department, including but not limited to fire trucks, rescue vehicles, and associated firefighter and rescue equipment, real property and buildings used for fire department purposes, radios, protective gear, tools, and related equipment, printer, gives a serial number with all accessories, $1,100 paid by Powhattan to the water departments to Hook Pine Tinker. Bank account funds or donations held under the name of the Powhattan Fire and Rescue Association. Counts as first option and equity balance of $39,000 will be registered back to Powhattan Fire Department. Additionally, the accounts at GN Bank or Union State Bank were opened when Powhattan Fire Department funds dated from December 2023. These funds need to be refunded to the property public entities as well. The city requests that Powhattan Fire and Rescue Association immediately cease any representation or holding out that it owns or controls city of Powhattan property. We request that Powhattan Fire and Rescue Association fully by returning all property equipment to the city of Powhattan by November 18th. Return all inventory of all items currently in the Powhattan Fire and Rescue Association possession by the same date. List from the original inventory is attached. And the reason I brought that up now is because I want you council members to understand, when you let Luke talk you into signing that resolution 2022, you were in violation of the law.
I didn't sign it.
Well, the council did. And I had a copy of that. And you voted for it, same thing as signing for it.
I wasn't at the meeting.
Well, anyway, you're going to be on the next council.
Yes,
I'm
I
sure
was.
Mr. Pollock is going to pull some more stuff like this. So I want you to make sure that when he brings up something, you better ask for a statute authorizing you to do it.
Okay.
And
On that, when do you have to be, when's the lawyer have to respond by, Jim? You know?
the Powhattan Fire and Rescue Association had to respond by November, what did it say?
Well, I meant, the Attorney General's letter.
Oh, you mean on those,
What they said, December the 10th,
Yeah.
December 10th,
December 10th,
I think.
what are we talking about?
when you have to respond to that Attorney General's, letter that he sent.
Yeah, I think it's at 15, or the 10th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But, we will respond to the Attorney General on this. And, But I wanted to bring that to the council's attention because you have to be, the council's actions are either being correct with the law or they're in violation of the law. And, from what I understood from talking from one of the municipalities, these council members can be held accountable for the decisions they make. So, I take personal responsibility for this because I think the council agreed to send him a letter about the property, returning the property. But, nevertheless, anyway, I'll respond to the Attorney General concerning this. Okay? Do we have any questions on this? Okay. Do we have any,
It's showing on the internet, we need to make a motion on,
I'm getting hold of the last one.
yeah, the last mile.
What does the council wanna do? Do they wanna get internet in here? What does everybody think? Is that
I don't see a problem with it. I mean, if it has, if it's more convenient for Shelley,
Yeah, I can work a little bit more hours. Right now, I basically write everything down, work as much as I can on my phone, and then I have to lug all this stuff home so I can use my home internet to put everything in.
I have no problem with getting internet for Shelley in here. And
I think they've talked about doing it for quite some time, just never got done.
yeah,
yeah, we want to just restrict the use of that internet in the city here to just the clerk and the treasurer? Otherwise, you could have somebody coming in here all hours, coming in there and sitting.
Well, it'll be locked.
It'll have a password, so.
They'll-
I mean, the council member should get the password and the clerk and the treasurer and the mayor.
I think what the mayor's talking about is using the internet as a public access point.
That's why we got, I mean, that's why we're saying it needs a password so nobody can else get on it besides who we know is gonna get on it.
Okay, you gotta write that down? To get the internet, you need to put a password on the internet, so only the city employees can use it. Get on it. Okay.
So do you wanna make that motion?
You wanna make that motion that,
I motion that we go ahead and get the, whatever internet that was Shelley was talking
Last mile,
about.
last mile.
Okay. We get the last mile internet put in here in the city office.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, we have some guests, have any comments?
Yeah, I do. Can I go real quick?
On behalf of South Brown County Community Foundation, they are hosting January 20th, 6 p.m. at the high school. Survey results from the community survey will be shared. Main Street, Horton has joined Main Street America, so there's information on that with grants and networking. January 20th, 6 p.m. at the high school. Everest, Willis, Powhattan communities are also invited to attend. And then second, Luke Lott has been working with Terry Hirsch to paint a mural on the garage door part here of the Legion entryway. And the Legion I think is gonna have the final say on what that mural would look like. I'm asking permission from the city council for that to be painted. However, if next month it gets painted over, we're not gonna waste the effort, so I guess I just need to know, is that something we need to ask in January?
Should we hold off painting until spring?
Yeah, I don't know when he's gonna paint.
How will that be paid for, Sarah? Is it gonna be on the city?
The beautification fund,
Oh.
with that part of the,
Okay,
would pay for it.
okay.
You know what the material is for the siding where that garage door is? I think that's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what the material is for that? Is it vinyl or?
It's vinyl,
Yeah.
siding, flat siding, well, done before, I
Would it
think.
be better if we replaced it with wood before painting, or
Well,
would the paint stick to the vinyl, or would it last?
Yeah, I don't have any idea, he's the artist,
Okay.
I don't.
Cause I know that vinyl's come off before in a windstorm. It got caught and blew off, so that would,
once it did, yeah.
yeah,
I think it's been
a few years.
repaired, but
Right.
it did get caught one time, I know.
So that might be a consideration.
Okay.
So, I guess to answer your question, sir, we're not sure what the
Alright.
next council
We'll
will do.
just table it.
Yeah, I think probably till the next council takes over, I guess would be the thing to do.
You're up, Bob.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, council, I've got, just give me a moment, I got a statement to read from the American Legion. On the 24th of October 1947, the federal charter was granted to Winger Post, Legion Post number 373. In the 60s through 76, Post 373 was the primary sponsor of the Powhattan picnic and purchased the card house. That's what we know it as a card house to use for a concession stand. In 68, Post 373 purchased the Legion Hall, apparently the big room. Apparently we already owned the meeting room and what is now the city office. In May of 2019, an agreement was reached between Post 373 and the city of Powhattan. The Legion Hall, the meeting room, and some small lots were transferred to the city of Powhattan at no cost to the city, so that the city could more easily pursue National Historic status for the building. On May 1st, 2019, a rental agreement was signed between the city of Powhattan, Post 373, that showed that Powhattan was responsible for major repairs. On June 21st, 2019, an amended quitclaim deed was signed transferring the ownership from the Legion and the meeting room, and the lots were transferred to the city of Powhattan. On the 15th of June, 2021, high winds damaged the roof, resulting in major water damage to the building, including suspended ceilings, carpeting, and Legion Hall and meeting room. In the fall of 2023, Brad Andrews improved the meeting room by removing the paint from the ceiling, upgrading the wiring, installing new lights, ceiling fans at no labor cost to the city. In 2024, the city of Powhattan, not financially prepared to make repairs to the Legion Hall, Post 373 began fundraising to repair the storm damage. In March of 25, Post 373 replaced the suspended ceiling in the Legion Hall at the cost to the post of $1,019, plus 35 hours of volunteer labor at no cost to the city. In June 2025, Powhattan Bank building was placed on the National Historic Register. With additional funds from the Ice Cream Social and other donations, Post 373 replaced the carpet in Legion Hall at a cost of $6,373 in September 2025, followed by a major cleanup project in October of 2025 with 57 volunteer hours at no cost to the city. Considering the facts presented, the Winger Post requests a new extended lease agreement for Legion Hall, kitchen, bathrooms, and the meeting room. I believe each one of you has a copy of the lease agreement.
You wanna read that agreement?
Agreement. This agreement is entered into on 1 December 2025 by the city of Powhattan, Kansas, referred to as the landlord, and Winger American Legion Post 373, hereinafter referred to as the tenants. Witness, the landlord is consideration of the rents, agreements, and the conditions of the agreement hereinafter set forth, do by these presents grant authorization to use in their discreet and need the first floor of the following described property to wit: the brick building now located and suited on the east 50 feet of lots 10, 11, and 12, on the south 5 feet of the east 40 feet of lot 9 and block 19 in the city of Powhattan, Kansas, including all parts of said building, excluding the city office, post office, and the second floor. Number 1, the term. The agreement shall be for a term of 99 years, commencing on 1 December 2025 and ending on 1 December 2124. Number 2, the lease. As lease for said premises, the tenants, in consideration for the agreement for said premises, covenants, and agrees with the landlord to pay $1 on the first day of the lease. Number 3, taxes. Landlord shall pay all taxes, assessed, and levied against and said premises by the state, county, or other taxing authorities. Number 4, insurance. The tenant shall maintain insurance coverage to include the following: $1 million in liability for injury or property damage. Number 5, use of the premises by a tenant. Tenant shall have full use and occupy the premises at meeting space for Winger American Legion Post 373 and for sponsored activities. Tenant shall have exclusive authority to schedule all or portions of the premises for daily rental for any lawful event. Number 6, right to enter. Inspections of premises. The landlord reserves the right for the agents, employees, or assignees to have free access to the premises for inspection of the premises, to make repair improvements, and consult with the tenant. Number 7, utilities and repairs. Landlord should be responsible for utilities associated with the property, snow removal, mowing, and general keep-up of all major repairs. The tenant shall be responsible for maintaining cleanliness and accomplish light maintenance. Number 8, assignment. Tenant shall not assign or transfer this agreement to any interest herein, including involuntary assignment, without the prior written consent of landlord. 9, serviceability. In the event that any of the terms of this agreement is construed by a court of law to be void and of no effect, then said terms shall be treated such, and the remaining provisions of this agreement should be given full force and effort. 10, entire agreement. The terms and provisions herein contained constitute the entire agreement between the parties and supersede all previous communications, representations, and agreements, either written or verbal or written, between the parties hereto and with respect to subject matter hereof. There should be no amendments of modifications to this agreement except in written executive of the same manner. Number 11, binding of hearers. The term and conditions of this agreement shall be extended to and be binding of the hearers, sorcerers, administrators, executors, and assigns of the party herein. 12, Kansas law. The agreement shall be governed by and constructed under the laws of the state of Kansas, in witness whereof the parties hereto have set their hands the day and year first above written. And it's got the landlord, city of Powhattan, tenant, the Winger American Post, Legion 373.
Mr. Mayor, if I could comment a couple of things on that.
Yes, sir.
That is word for word the contract that we're under today. with the exception that the old contract did not exclude the second floor and did not exclude the city office. That was a typo in that old contract. The other change is the term, the length of service. That's the only two changes that were made.
Do we have any comments or questions?
Well, it's the same lease that we signed before, only this is a 99-year lease that will help protect the Legion from future administrations, 5 years down the road, 10 years, 20 years. You know, the Legion has been around a long time, and some people, you know, may not know about the Legion. So I feel this agreement would help protect them for the money and time they've already put in to the Legion. And it's not anything that wasn't in the last agreement.
Any other comments?
I'm curious, what is the $1 for? What does it go to?
Lease.
General fund. It's just a lease for, that's what he wants to pay for the lease on the building. The other one was the same. It was a lease, $1 per year. This is $1 for 99 years. That's the way I read it anyway.
Okay.
If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion to accept this agreement.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
You got the original, not
And
signed?
Dennis is gonna sign his. And Mr. Mayor, if we could sign two, just like we did last time.
So do you want this one signed too?
Yeah, so you guys keep an original signature, and we'll keep an original signature.
Oh, you wanna sign this one? Do you want to take a copy of this photo? Yes, I do.
There's that statement in case you want to attach it to your
Oh, okay.
Yes, I thought that was nice.
stuff.
Thank you.
I'll trade you.
And your payment.
Alright, thanks for $1.
Oh, boy. We're really getting money
We're
now.
rich now.
Well, I'll offset some of it.
Alright, we'll attach these together.
Is there anyone else? Comments?
I'd like to add something.
Yes, sir.
I'm Corey, I grew up here in Powhattan. I think I came here for the first 100th centennial parade way back when I was a little guy. I really enjoy seeing everything that you guys have done as far as getting the park cleaned up. I got nephews and nieces that live here, and it's a good place for them to go. I remember a lot of camping up here. John Zimmers and I rode horses all the time through town. Used to have Claire Krebs bungee jumping out here off the truck.
Oh, good God.
And Dennis throwing firecrackers in the fire early in the morning, wake everybody up from. That's somebody else's story. I still come down here, family still farms around here, and I'd just like to see that that you guys have taken the effort to clean it up. There's a lot of other properties that aren't so much. I don't know what your guys' rules are, whether you have like a nuisance abatement person for the city, but pretty much an eyesore when you come in from the cemetery out here, down the gravel road. Quite an eyesore seeing junk cars, half burned houses. So I would just encourage whoever, I understand that your commission's about up and about to change. It'd be nice to see that if they could try to get some of that stuff cleaned up and make the town look good like it used to. I know there's some people that would probably roll over in their grave if they saw the way some of these houses are being lived in now, and that kind of thing. And another thing is, I don't know if any of you have contacted the League of Municipalities. It has to be from a commissioner to check on your new commission coming in, all being related and all being on the fire department. I know there's some touchy-feely stuff there. But making a call there, that you have to be a commissioner that calls to check on that. And the reason I'm saying that is because I don't feel like they can make very good informed decisions for the city and the fire department at the same time, being on the council and the fire department. It's a big conflict of interest. And I've retired from 20 years of volunteer fire department from Hiawatha. I was 10 years full-time on the sheriff's department, 10 years part-time, stayed in the county. So I've been around a little bit. I'm currently the vice president of the Brown County Rescue Squad. So I've kind of seen this, heard stuff, but I just would like you guys to think about that. I don't know how much time you got left, if you can make a call and see, or whether it'll do any good, but just from outside looking in, it doesn't look good that we have all the commission on the fire department making those decisions. And then also, I don't know whether the city can afford it, but I really think an audit should be done to see where some of that money went. I don't quite understand the Powhattan Fire and Rescue Association that you were talking about earlier, and how some of that gear went. I'm still looking at that and doing some investigating on my side to see why the gear was transferred or whatever. I guess whether you have some sort of information I can see, or whether I can request like the bylaws from the fire department maybe, and maybe your budget. I don't know who I need to ask to get that, whether is that you, Luke, that I would talk to for your bylaws from your fire department?
Fire department bylaws, yeah, we can get those for you.
Okay, well,
You're welcome to come take a look at them.
okay. Yeah, do you have one I can get a copy of? I'd like the copy of the city budget too, if that's possible. Is that something you guys do?
The city
Like-
budget,
Like your departments, like what you budget for the city, like, I assume that the city gives each department money, like, so in Hiawatha, we get, township money, the city would throw in a little, but whereas the county rescue squad, we're funded by the county, we don't get those other subsidies, so.
as
I'm
far as,
feeding, if you give me your email, I can get you your budget.
Perfect, I can do that, that'd be great. And then how about getting the bylaws?
If you're good, I can get a copy of those, Shelley, and she can email those to you too. That's
That'd be perfect.
easy to do
I
that.
have a copy of those too.
That'd be great.
as far as, fire department, members being on the council, I talked to the league and it's not illegal, but they don't recommend it.
Right.
But there's no statute that prohibits councilmen voting on fire department issues.
How about abstaining from dealing with the money part of it? Because I was told that there's no treasurer even on the fire department.
I have no idea about that.
Is
Not
there-
at the moment, our treasurer just resigned.
Stephen Brad? Or David Barnes?
Yeah, who was the treasurer?
Stephen Fred was the last treasurer.
They didn't, I don't think that money changing hands even matters, because they didn't seem to think there was a problem, but they didn't recommend it, but there's no statute that says they
And that was kind of the only thing I saw was that the money exchange part and the treasurer part, they could be on there but couldn't exchange the money. They wouldn't allow me to know anything because I wasn't on the commission. I wasn't able to answer, or get my answer answered.
Well, they talked to me that, what I was able to find out is that it's okay to do that. It's not illegal to do that.
Just very.
That's not,
Just, yeah, it's not recommended, but that's not illegal.
only thing illegal is taking city money and transferring it to another organization.
That's kind of where I think an audit would be. I mean, if I'm sitting here listening to this meeting and listening to the meetings that have been recorded, if we have somebody that's not doing their job and still getting paid to do their job, the water thing, whatever wasn't being done, you guys are gonna get charged $5,000. I think it'd be money well spent rather than wasting it on $5,000 because we just are getting our money, but we're not doing the paperwork. I think that money would be well spent to have an audit done, and it would probably help the city find other problems too. I'm not just directing it towards the fire department, I'm saying there's other things that are, I'm sure, getting paid for too, and.
You know, that
There's,
could be, we've never had a problem before, that's right.
and I've never ever heard of a problem before, that's why it just blows my mind seeing some of these meetings and how some people react and act about it. This is your community that you live in, this is the community I grew up in, and when you have a fundraiser, I'll go back to the fire department, you have a fundraiser like this, and you're fundraising to buy equipment and stuff, you want transparency with the people that are donating that money, which is this community, and if you don't have that transparency, people aren't gonna come and help donate that money, and so you're not gonna get that gear, and we all know that these volunteer fire departments don't have money. It takes a lot of money, I mean, it's, what, 6,000 to 8,000, Luke, to outfit somebody now? More than that now?
No, I think our last,
5,000?
about
With
30,
SCBA,
about,
SCBA and everything?
well, if you put SCBA on,
Yeah.
SCBA is a whole nother ballgame, but a
That's
set
all
of bunker,
complete outfit.
but a set of bunker gear is about 3,500.
So then by the time you put your SCBA and the rest of that stuff.
You
So-
can spend a lot of money real
You
quick.
can spend a lot of money running emergency calls, you can spend a lot of money on stuff that doesn't need to be done, so through Hiawatha Fire Department, we never ran emergency calls.